Shots. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. I am your host, Jefe Picks. Joined with me is AlphaDog Bets. Alpha, how are you today? I just thought of that.
Woof.
Do that again. Bark for me. Let me hear it again.
Woof.
You'd make a good Alpha Dog. On a real note, I'm AlphaDog, host of the show, here with my guy, Jefe from Jefe Picks. Our guy, JD. I'm not going to say what happened to JD. We may see him. I think we'll see him. I don't know. He's fine, but yeah, we may see him.
Honestly, pretty sure he's fake and everything.
Honestly, I really don't, but we'll find out. Nick, we're all hoping JD does show up. We're going to have to see what happens here. Jefe, how are you today, bro?
I'm happy for one reason only. I'm optimistic that on Saturday I will win the $1.5 billion Powerball, and you'll never know, but there'll be signs.
Oh, I'll know. Your daughter is my niece. So if I see Luna the cat start having all this new stuff, I'm going to know what's happened here. Red Hot Take wants a new Sports Reporter top 5 bad news Red Hot Take for today. Good news and bad news. Good news for probably everyone else besides you. Bad news for you. It is our college football playoff show. We have a lot we have to go over tonight, and y'all know what it is. It's Thursday, so we have one of the biggest Thursday night football games of the entire year to break down as well. Jefe, as we always do on the show, we always do a little recap action. Ready to dive into the recap?
Yes, sir.
Right, you've never called me sir before. That was nice. Let's do our Wednesday recap on a Thursday afternoon. My only free play of the day was Bama, minus 13.5. They were up by like 20 with 4 minutes left. And
bad backdoor. I ended up giving in and watching that last 3 minutes. They had that game 17 times over again.
Yeah, they had to try and lose that cover, and that's exactly what happened. Kind of pulled a lot of their guys. They started missing every free throw. A little frustrating there. In terms of the NBA world, we had a split last night. We did end up losing on the Cavaliers, but we did have Grizzlies as well. So, Jefe, anything else from you from the recap?
No, we split in NHL, we split in CVB, and then the Grizzlies, they don't even need the points. Should have taken them on the money line. Who knew?
Outright. No Ja. We talked about this. No problem. The team played even better. No Cam Spencer, no Ja. The team still produced. And Jefe, as you said yesterday, you kind of alluded to it. When the star player is out and you have a team like the Grizzlies, that are used to playing without Ja. Let's be honest here. They're a team that knows how to play when he's not there because, unfortunately, he hasn't been there a bunch of times. So they were able to overcome that, able to get the W. Good to see that one hit there. Over to the comments. Stetsy boy, St. Francis lost by 41 to Florida. Let me tell you something, Stetsy boy. Let me tell you something. I had the Florida team total over 100.5. Do you know how we hit 102 points and won that bet? If you don't, go back and watch it. They brought in the giant Olivier Roux, and he had a dunk with about 30 seconds left. They were just force-feeding him the ball. He couldn't score in a couple possessions. But his big ass finally slammed one in to get us the cover there or hit the team total over. Was very happy about that one. Footy is here. What's up, Footy? And our guy RC Baller is here as always. Top of the morning. What's up, bro? We appreciate you tuning in as always. All right, Hef. Well, that kind of does it for our warm-up. Our intro segments, our let's get ready to roll segments. You ready to dive into a little college football playoff?
Yeah, buddy.
We've been waiting for this all year. I have to appropriately find the little college football transition because JD buried it at the bottom because we haven't had it in a while, but we're back. College football playoffs, and the first game we are going to be breaking down is the first game of the college football playoff. That's going to be the Alabama-Oklahoma game. And, of course, I don't have this game pulled up, so give me 1 second. Here we go. Alabama's entering this one 10-3 on the year. They're ranked 9th. Oklahoma's entering 10-2. They're ranked 8th. Oklahoma is a very slight favorite here, ESPN BPI has this 50% Alabama, 50% Oklahoma. They think this one is a true coin flip. The quarterbacks of these two teams, Ty Simpson, 26 touchdowns to 5 interceptions on the year. John Mateer, who remember when he was a Heisman favorite for like a hot week, he finished the year with 12 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, battled injuries all year. This is an interesting game, Jefe, and there's a couple interesting storylines regarding this game. Ty Simpson has a chance to elevate his draft stock. In my opinion, there's only a couple quarterbacks in this college football playoff that really can make an impact and move themselves up the draft board. Mendoza, I think, is solidified as the number 1 quarterback. I don't think that's an issue here. But Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, these are the types of guys that are going to look to show out and get higher draft stock. Jefe, we got Alabama. We got Oklahoma. What do you like in this one?
Well, to look forward, you must look backwards first. And luckily, not only with this game, but another game that will be going over in a little bit here, we have rematches of games that we saw earlier in the game. This game between Oklahoma and Bama was played. I can't remember how early in the year. How early in the year was this? This was a November game, mid-November game, not that long ago. Oklahoma went into Tuscaloosa and won this game 23-21. This, to me, was an interesting game. Most of the points were based off of 3 turnovers that they were able to force. Now, those 3 turnovers, I have to remind myself, because I think they were from, I'm pretty sure Ty Simpson only threw 1. Yeah. All right. So Ty Simpson only threw 1 pick in that game. The other 2 were not his fault, were fumbles. Ty Simpson actually had a good game, other than that 1 interception. 326 passing yards, 28-42 passing touchdown, threw an interception. The issue was Alabama's a team at 3 turnovers, and Mateer made 0 mistakes. He also threw for 0 touchdowns in that game. So I do want to say Mateer did have a nice rushing touchdown. I'm kind of catching myself up on this game in real time. With that being said, this notion of Oklahoma, yes, they beat Alabama. Of course they did, and they earned it. But those are, if you had to bet money, Alabama is not going to turn the ball over 3 times tomorrow night. And if Alabama doesn't turn the ball...
Here's my question for you, because it's kind of about Alabama turnovers, so it's a good kind of piece to jump in here. How do you feel, because Footy did put a comment here that's very accurate. Ty Simpson's hurt. He is playing through something. Does that make you worried about the turnover thing? Because we're talking about Alabama. You don't think they're going to have 3 turnovers, but Ty is banged up. Does that make you nervous here, influence how you're going to bet this game?
Recency bias. Last time we saw them, I mean, he looked horrible.
Horrible.
But I am in no way, shape, or form going to put Oklahoma's defense in the same state as Georgia's defense. More or less the same town, same place. It's not. Yeah. Georgia's defense is the top 3 defense in the country, and Oklahoma's is not. They have a good defense, but they're not top tier. Mm-hmm. Ty Simpson also has had 2 weeks? 2 weeks to rest, recover here. Yeah. Pretty much 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what else to say other than I'm rolling with Bama. This is a big spot, a spot that Bama's used to being in. I know different regimes, different coaches, different players, all valid points. But unless Bama absolutely unravels, has a terrible game turnover-wise, I think they win this game on the offensive side. I like Ty Simpson more than I like Mateer.
I agree to that. I mean, I agree that the quarterback, I would go Ty Simpson every single day over Mateer. Jeremy Bernard, I think, could be the best receiver in this game. I know Sategna III has been fantastic for Oklahoma. But I just like the weapons that Alabama has on the offensive side. I think they're getting downgraded a little bit because they were that team that everyone said shouldn't be in the college football playoff, right? They had their 3rd loss. Not everyone, but that was the big debate. Do you put a 3-loss team in, even though they lost to Georgia in the conference championship game? They got blown out in that game. Wasn't particularly close, but Stetsy Boy, you put it perfectly as well. In the first game, even though it wasn't Tuscaloosa, this one is in Norman, the Bama out-yard gained them by nearly double, 406 to 212. Bama, to me, has a defense that is able to make plays. I'm not terribly scared of Mateer taking them deep. I think that they'll be able to stock the box and be able to stop the run game. Give me Alabama on the money line. I'm not messing around with the points here. Not going to take the plus 1.5. Going to be taking Alabama on the money line at minus 104. They should be able to get this one done. The total here is very interesting to me, Jefe. The total being at only 41.5. What does that make you think about this game? You think it's going to be a run type of game, keep the clock moving, limit the turnovers, limit the mistakes?
I was just looking. These two teams couldn't have had a worse rushing game, both of them, last time they faced. Neither of them hit over 80 yards as a team. Neither of them were able to hit any long runs. This game needs to be decided. One of these teams needs to take the running attack and make it their offense and control the clock. That's what needs to happen. Physicality in the trenches is what will win this game. I will take Alabama for those reasons. But they have to commit. Because if you start having Ty Simpson do one of these three things, be your lead rusher, force passes, or dink and dunk, you're not going to win. You're just not going to win.
I agree. So the money in this game, red hot take, it's about 55-45 in favor of Alabama. And the ESPN BPI has us 50-50. Sorry, have I continue?
No, that's really it. I mean, they got to get material to make a mistake. Alabama defense got to step up. I'm going to put it to you like that. This game is going to be won. The most important sides of this football is Oklahoma offense versus Alabama defense. That's the side of the ball we're going to know where this game is going to go. I think Bama offensively versus Oklahoma defense should be able to do some stuff. The other side is where this game is going to be tossed up.
We have to take a quick break from the show. Our guy Jefe just tuned in, and I didn't think he was. We got a little bit of an alarming message from Jefe today. He's down on the injured list. He had a bit of an accident yesterday. Jefe, we're thinking about you, bro. We're happy you're able to tune in whenever you are. Get yourself right. The show will be here whenever you are back. And just know we are thinking about you, buddy. Get yourself right soon. And if we don't speak to you before the holidays, have a very happy holiday season. Everyone at MBM greatly appreciate you. Jefe, you're always in the chat contributing. We want you to get back on your feet as soon as possible. So we're thinking about you, bro. Get right. Hope you get back on your feet very, very soon. And your best friend from the chat, Stetsy Boy, is here for you as well. Y'all are always talking in the chat, so we appreciate you. Any other thing you want to add? Absolutely. Anything you want to add to the Jefe or onto the Alabama game before we move into Miami versus Texas A&M?
Best wishes to Jefe. Speed of recovery, my brother. Take your time and heal up. We'll be here when you get back, or in the meantime, while you're recovering, whatever way you want it. Other than this game, no, that's Alabama wins. What did that shock me if Oklahoma wins? No, nah. But I think Alabama wins this game.
I think I'd be shocked if Oklahoma won this game. I think Alabama's a significantly better team. We were just talking about Mateer and his mistakes. 12 touchdowns to 10 interceptions on the year passing. I think Bama will force some turnovers. Simpson doesn't turn the ball over that often. Like I said, 26 passing touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. The turnover margin will be the difference of this game, and I think it will be the opposite of what we saw in the first game between these two teams. All right, Jefe, let's move on to the second game. Also, looks like we will not be having JD here today, but I do believe him and the boys are on the live line tonight. Nick, I know you're in the comments somewhere. Joe, you're probably in the comments as well. Let us know if that is still happening tonight. We'll definitely give you guys a plug for that. Let's move on to the second game of the day, Jefe, which is going to be Miami versus Texas A&M. This is another game where one of the quarterbacks has a real chance to improve his draft stock, and he needs to have a big, big, big college football playoff. Jefe, which quarterback am I talking about?
Carson.
He's got a shot, man. He's played well in big games before, and this is his chance to really elevate his draft stock. Right now, I do not think he has a good draft outlook. Don't think he's a good or a big draft prospect, but he's got a shot. Like I said, that's all you can ask for a guy in that situation. The Texas A&M Aggies are 11-1 on the year, and they are hosting the 10-2 Miami Hurricanes, who to me were the real shock of getting in the college football playoff. I personally thought Notre Dame was going to get in, but here we are with Miami in this game. 3.5-point line here favoring the home Aggies. What do you like in this one, Jefe? We have a high total as well. By the way, this total's been steamed down. It opened at 52.5 and is all the way down to 48.5.
This is the most polarizing game to me, even more than Oklahoma, Alabama. The other two that will speak after this, I mean, I think there's spots that you could wager on, but obviously we know it's Power 5 team versus just a small school. What happened?
I sent you a text before the show regarding there was a plane crash in North Carolina. The owner of the plane was NASCAR driver Greg Biffle. It is being reported that on the plane that did crash, which had no survivors, was 55-year-old Greg Biffle, his wife, and their 3 young children. So I'm very, very much hoping those reports are inaccurate, but it is starting to come out all over that Greg Biffle, his wife, and 3 children were all on the plane, and there are no survivors. So horrible news there. Hope that is incorrect. But back to this game. Let's keep it rolling for
scary stuff.
Right.
Best wishes up. Hope that's untrue.
Hope it's inaccurate. Yeah.
But back to the candy store, as they say. What we do here, take your mind off of things. That's what they call it, right? Because life has a way of lifing. And people show up here to get their mind off things.
But the candy store reference is why I was laughing.
Well, because when have you ever been upset walking into a candy store?
Depends how much money I have in my pocket.
Doesn't matter. You can always get some.
It's true.
Anyway, this game. All right. This is the one that I'm most excited for. Why it's at 12:30 on a Saturday, I honestly don't know. I'm not complaining about it, but to me, this should definitely be either the Saturday 7:30 or the Friday night game. But regardless, we're here. I think a lot of this I have to look at in real time. Because if I look at the seasons that Miami had, I look at the season that A&M had, there's no comparing the two. A&M had a way better year than Miami. Way better team. Way better
conference.
Way better conference. Way better loss. Or losses in Miami's case. But I have to look at the last few weeks. And I would be lying to you all if I wasn't saying that Miami is playing their best football they've been all year now. Probably ever since their week 1 win versus Notre Dame, up until probably double-digit weeks like week 10 and 11 and 12, is when Miami's been playing the best. Last 3 weeks, first week of the season. And I'm not saying that Texas A&M ended the season in a bad way, but their most recent loss came very late in the year. And it's not a bad loss, but it thus is a loss, and thus this is why they are here, right? Longhorns came into town, took care of business against them. That's a bad loss, especially was that one in Austin or was that at Kyle? I think it was in Austin. I think Longhorns were home. Yeah, regardless. Not a terrible loss.
Longhorns were home.
But a loss nonetheless.
Yep.
Thought about this long and hard. 2 different conferences that I will pretty much always go with. A&M's conference over Miami's conference, but guys, I think the Canes go in, and I don't think they cover. I think they win this damn game.
I hate that we're so aligned. I hate that through the first 2 we are so aligned.
Somebody's got to be the team, and this to me is the team. You're catching A&M in a game, and please. Let me finish, because I know the first part of what I'm going to say is stupid, but I have a point. You're playing a team in A&M that can afford a loss. Why? Reese is coming back next year. Reed's coming back next year. He can't go into the portal. He can't go into the draft if he wanted to. Their coach is signed. They're not a team that has too many high prospects to go into the draft regardless. Miami, Ruben Bain's got everything to lose. Everything to lose. Carson Beck's got everything to lose. To them, this is their Super Bowl. They were questioned whether they should even be in here, and now they get an opportunity to prove to the country why they belong. Give me the Hurricanes on the money line.
Thank you, Footy. I also agree. That was most wild.
I don't agree with you, Footy. I think you got to grow up, man. I think you got to be more mature than that.
Well, big news. We're done talking about this.
Thank God. Oh God. So here's what I'm thinking. Right. I say rest everybody tonight. Personally,
I agree.
We won. We partied. Everybody but Carl. Carl gets no days off. Okay, he needs to be in the gym. He needs to work. But rest everybody. Honestly, let Kolek start for all I care. All right. We got 3 French dudes. Let's point out the national team for all I care. But the Knicks should not be playing big minutes today, especially with a back-to-back tomorrow against Philly at home. We want that game more than we want tonight. That's all I gotta say.
I agree. Back to Miami versus Texas A&M. We had to do it for at least a second, guys. We had to do it. I'm going to be taking Miami with the points plus 3.5. I do think they have a realistic chance to win this game, but that key number of 3.5 is exactly where I want to be here. Like I said, I do think Miami has a very good chance to win this game, but I'm a lot more comfortable taking the 3.5. Carson Beck needs a big performance, and I think we're going to see him play very well. The best receiver in this game to me is definitely Malachi Toney. He's been unreal this year, and I think Carson Beck is going to be taking chances and deep shots to Malachi all game long, and I think he will be able to produce, find the end zone, and have a big game. So for me, I'm with you, Jefe. I'm all over Miami in this spot, and I think they have a big performance and potentially can get it done. All right, Jefe, we've gone through the really good games, but now we get to go into the nitty-gritty games, into the big spread games, and the first one we're breaking down is going to be my Tulane Green Wave taking on the Lane Kiffinless Ole Miss Rebels. Tulane comes into this one 11-2 on the year, while Ole Miss comes into this one 6-1 on the year. ESPN BPI has given Ole Miss an 87% chance to win this game, and Tulane and only a 13%. This one is in Oxford, Mississippi, so the Rebels crowd will be loud all game long. Let's look at the two quarterbacks in this game. The former BYU quarterback, Jake Retzloff, who was transferred to Tulane, had a pretty good season for them. He only had 14 passing touchdowns and 6 interceptions, but that's not what the Retzloff does. What the Retzloff does is he runs the ball in the end zone. He had 16 rushing touchdowns on the season. On the other side, we have that dude, Trinidad Chambers, another guy who had a fantastic year. 18 passing touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Really limits his mistakes. Now, the one thing we know about this Tulane team, usually their games have a lot of points. What do we know about this Ole Miss team? Usually their games also have a lot of points. Jefe, this is an extremely high total. We're getting 56.5, highest of the college football playoff bowl slate so far, and the only game to eclipse the 50-point total mark. The other totals are 41.5, 48.5, 47.5. Then you have this one at a monster 56.5. What do you like in this one? We have the Tulane Green Wave and the Ole Miss Rebels.
All right. The other game that we saw earlier this year, Ole Miss backed the truck up on Tulane and then backed it up again and then drove straight and then backed it up over them again. They ran them out of their damn building. They won by 30. I'm going to be quite frank with you here. To me, this is an Ole Miss spot. Tulane's got their coach coaching, and he's moving to Florida the second that they lose this game. And even though I actually think I commend him, for doing it this way and donating $100,000 to their NIL, even though he's leaving. I commend him. I think he's a nice guy. I think you could say what you want, but he needs to coach a perfect game for them to win this game. He needs to coach a perfect game for them to cover this game.
I don't think anyone's thinking that they're going to win this game outright, but I will say one thing. You sound a lot like you did before the Mean Green Wave, Battle of the Greens, North Texas versus Tulane, where the whole world told me that North Texas was going to beat them by 300. And Tulane battled through it and won that one too. So it's a big spread here, and this is a team that's battle-tested.
Absolutely. Battle-tested. Except they lost the damn battle and the war against this exact test earlier in the year.
But they've seen it.
Here's the thing. Ole Miss is pissed. And they have the right to be pissed. They've been a talking point for not a good reason for the last 2.5 weeks because of Lane.
That's a very good point.
Right. And nobody, not one person, when Ole Miss is being talked about in the last 2-3 weeks, has said anything about, wow, great season. They deserve to be here. Excited to watch them in the playoffs. No, all anybody's talking about is Lane Kiffin leaving them high and dry, putting them on that show for a week where we knew he was going to LSU, but he obviously wanted his cake and eat it too in terms of coaching. AD said, get the hell out. You're embarrassing us. And now Ole Miss has to do what they do best. Play a team that they are 110% better than.
Are you afraid that some of the Ole Miss guys could be a little checked out? So I do believe they're going to have a lot of guys leave. I think they're going to have a lot of guys transfer.
Yes, but I actually think the opposite. I think that they're not checked out because they know they could walk on that field, not practice for the last 2 weeks, and take care of business against Tulane, win by 18 points. I think they want to put on a show. They're at home. It's a lot of these. In a weird way, if this was one of these bowl games that was a neutral field site, I might think so. At home, crowd is going to be going crazy because I agree with you. A lot of these people are going to transfer portal. I think Ole Miss runs about the damn building, and that's why you're seeing a high total. I think Ole Miss wins this one by 3 touchdowns.
I just got a very funny message about this show that I cannot repeat. But just know if you were the person that sent me that message, you're an asshole. Okay. This is the first game we disagree on. I think there's been a lot of noise with this Ole Miss team. There has been a lot of noise with this Ole Miss team. Lane Kiffin not being there, I think, is a big deal. They still have their play caller, so that's a big deal as well. I think Tulane gets the cover, but that's not what I'm playing in this game. I'm taking the over 56.5, highest total of the week. I think this one it will end in the 60s or 70s. Tulane could score. Tulane could score with the best of them, and I think we're going to see them being able to put points on the board. They're very well coached. Their coach, John Summerall's done a fantastic job. And on the other side, I think Trinidad Shameless is also going to be able to get his team to score out well here as well. Kwan Lacey has had a fantastic year. He's had 20 rushing touchdowns on the year. And I think he will be able to have a big game as well. So give me the over here. I think this one ends in a minimum in the 60s, could even reach the 70s. And if you were to put a gun to my head and told me I had to pick one of these teams to cover the spread that I would take would be Tulane. I do love this Tulane team. They've done me right for the last 2 seasons. They've been one of the best cover teams in the nation over the last 2 years under John Summerall, and I just don't think that changes here. So for me, my official play is going to be on the over, but I do think that Tulane covers this game as well. Do we think Trinidad gets another year? Jefe, what do you think?
Depends how much you're willing to pay, man. It's all about dollars and cents these days. I mean, if you read into the portal, right now, probably top 2 quarterbacks in the portal that we can honestly probably say are moving on is Raiola from Nebraska. And
he's already announced he's gone.
Yeah, and Minamaker from North Texas.
I think Underwood's also leaving as well for Michigan.
That would shock me if he stays. Who wants anything to do with that university?
Correct. And Portnoy said he's not going to be giving him any more NIL.
Yeah. There's other players that obviously might come up, but Winemaker
is also a senior. Does he have an extra year for anything? He is a senior.
Probably. So I think you're going to have some spots depending on
what's up, Dylan,
where some of these guys go, and depending on what spots open up from some of these guys that either transfer somewhere else and or go to the draft. I got a really interesting one for you for a dude out of North Texas that I think is a perfect fit. You want to take a guess? What school?
Repeat the question.
Quarterback from Texas, Winemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I know his ex-head coach is at Oklahoma State, and I'm sure they need a quarterback because I can't name who the quarterback was this year. But I have another school that I think he should absolutely consider based on what
I got it. Easy question. Easy. Probably the easiest question you've ever asked me. This one's 100% Rutgers.
Indiana Hoosiers.
I don't know.
Why?
There's been a lot of rumors of who's going to go to Indiana. I don't know if it'll be him. But
well, here's the thing. A
lot of rumors.
Birdo's ready, but I don't know.
So you don't believe in Birdo?
I believe in Birdo.
Who is the brother of Francisco?
Yeah, I forgot the third boy's name. Their younger brother. But I already took him for 2032 Heisman.
Winnebago,
Mendoza.
That's correct. There we go. All right, Jefe, let's move on to the final college football playoff game of the weekend. That's going to be the most entertaining social media account for all the teams, probably at all college football. The James Madison Dukes, who are taking on the Oregon Ducks. We got a Duke versus a Duck battle. Jefe, break it down. Who wins between a Duke and a Duck? Yeah. Bet you didn't expect this
game was being played based on Twitter admin accounts, James Madison would win by 50.
I agree.
If you don't follow James Madison's admin account on X,
it's not a real account, it's a fan account, but
doesn't even. What do you mean? No, it's the James Madison Athletics department account. The real freaking account.
No, it's not. The one that you found amazing with all the jokes and the puns that you've sent in chat, that is not the JMU official account.
Yes. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. So
I'm looking here to try and find the official for that account. It's not the JMU official account. I can promise you that.
I forgot what the damn account name was.
And we would review the echo stress test, right?
We're hearing about a lot of echo stress test, Jefe. A lot going on behind you.
Oh yeah, no. People are it's a sick time. Flu A, B,
crazy.
heart conditions. Let me take this moment as a PSA to tell you that flu A is more rampant than it's ever been in the last 3 years. This flu season. If you feel sick, get yourself checked out. Get a Z-Pack.
Yep. Hold on. Big Duck. It's JMU Sports News.
No, I'm telling you, official Twitter account for James Madison University.
That's not the one that's doing all the funny stuff, though.
You know what? I just realized I don't care. Moving on. Okay. Here's my synopsis here, guys. I've seen James Madison play absolutely nobody worth mentioning. They have to go to Oregon, where Oregon is going to wear a super bright green Goblin jersey, and their fans are going to be going crazy. And Dante Moore is going to be the second quarterback definitely taken in this draft. And they got speed, and they got playmakers, and they got a tight end who's going to be a top 15 pick. And James Madison has absolutely none of that. But I've seen Dante Moore in this Oregon offense come out and just kind of
shit the bed.
Just not be efficient is the word I want to use. Kind of slow and still win the game, but just kind of looks clunky. And I think James Madison's coming out just like Tulane's going to come out. Nothing to lose, nothing to prove. Just a bunch of kids out here having fun. We know he ain't supposed to be here. Spread's at 21. I see it here at plus 21. Boys and girls, I'm buying that hook. I want the 21.5 because I will not lose by a 21. And that's at minus 130 odds, and I'm rolling with the James Madison University Dukes here. Do I think they win? Absolutely freaking not. Do I think Oregon can win this game by 17 points and I'm just cruising? Absolutely. And that's how I see it happening.
So do I. I think James Madison does get the cover. Do I think they win? No. Do I think they compete? Yes. This team has wanted to be in this spot for so damn long. Curt Cignetti really brought this program back to kind of relevancy a few years ago before departing for Indiana. Remember a couple years ago, Jefe, JMU, their first year in Division I football was only a few years ago, and they were undefeated going into the final week. Because of that stupid, moronic, dumb NCAA rule, they were not eligible for a bowl game, even though they were having an undefeated season. They ended up losing the last week of the year anyway, so that kind of squashed that whole debate because they weren't going to get into the playoff without it. But this team has been battling their way into relevancy. They were not a Division I program even 5 years ago. So what Curt Cignetti built there is absolutely fantastic since he's left. What they've continued to do there has been fantastic. And this is a team that does have a chip on their shoulder. This is a team that, yes, they have nothing to prove, but they do have something to prove to themselves. And they're going to play very hard and give every single thing they got. Oregon knows they don't have to do that. They could play a 50% game here and still get a touchdown win. I don't think this game will be a touchdown. I think this one will be somewhere in the 10 to 17 point range, but I don't think it's going to get all the way into the 20s like this line is suggesting. Give me James Madison. Let's take a look at the public betting percentages on this one. Let me quickly pull that up because I am interested to see where this one has been bet so far. Let me quickly give you guys the Tulane one as well because I didn't. On the spread, Ole Miss has 65% money. So we can see who has the money on that one. And then let me scroll down to the James Madison game. The spread is 86% on the Oregon Ducks. Another reason I like being on JMU here. Give me JMU. I do think they'll be able to get it done. And I do think they have an absolutely monster performance.
Can I also make a comment before we move on to CFP from first round of CFP? I think there's a lot of looking at these games, especially these last two. I want to isolate big spreads. And going back to last year, where, and don't quote me, but I'm pretty damn sure every big spread was covered by the favorite last year in that first round, which this would be this year's second round, if you follow what I'm saying. I remember Penn State beating up on
I nailed that one.
Boise State. I want to say that Indiana lost big time.
So Penn State beat SMU. Remember that?
Oh, okay.
They whomped SMU. It was
somebody must have beat Boise.
Yes, Boise got the automatic.
Oh my God, they got the automatic bye, and then they got crushed by Penn State.
Correct.
Thank God they changed this crap.
They had that Ohio State Tennessee game. That was funny.
The Hoosiers got smacked by
Yes, the
somebody.
Hoosiers got shellacked. The Hoosiers got shellacked by
Oregon?
Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then Notre Dame got shellacked by Georgia, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Notre Dame went to the championship. They beat Georgia.
Yeah, obviously. They won that game. Stupid comment. They did win that game. You are right. Arizona State made a little bit of a run last year.
Oh, yeah. In the second half, they were down big versus Texas.
And they also had a bye to get there, remember? So that was another one of those stupid buys. All right.
Basically, my point for bringing that up was I think people are looking at these two games here that we just went over, thinking back to last year and being like, these two teams can't compete.
I agree. Different level teams.
I think it's just a little bit different this year with the way that it's scheduled.
I would agree. I would definitely agree with you there, and we're going to have to see what happens here. A lot of interesting things to come from this weekend's college football slate. We're going to learn a lot about these teams and kind of shape the way we're going to bet the future rounds of the CFP. So let's see how this one does play out. All right, Jefe. I already ran the transition. We're running right into a little Thursday night football.
Biggest football game of the year, man. Most implications by far of the year.
Both teams 11-3. Both teams 5-2 in their respective spot tonight. So the Rams are 5-2 on the road. The Seahawks are 5-2 at home. Seahawks are getting a 1.5 here. They are a minus 1.5 favorite. The total opened at 47.5 and is down to 42.5. You know why? Weather implications here. Weather implications here. It's going to be cold, rainy, and all that in Lumens Field, Seattle. Jefe, I'm going to start with you. This is, as you're saying, the game of the year. This is by far the biggest Thursday night football game of the year. What are the implications? Break it down for this one, and what do you like?
Well, a little more important for Seattle than it is for the Rams, only because the Rams have already clinched a playoff spot. No matter, the Rams can go 0-3 for the next 3 games, they're making the playoffs, which is why this decision tonight about Devontae Adams, who by the time in a few hours, he's not playing. Let's just call it what it is. I know he's doubtful right now. The guy's not playing. Why? Because he doesn't need to play. Because it's not worth it for him to go out there, get his hammy issue into an ACL issue, and now he's gone for the year, and thus you don't have him when you really need him, which is 4 weeks from now in the wild card round. Let's get that out of the way, first and foremost. The Seahawks, even though they have the same record, are not clinched just yet, because the last time these two teams played, the Rams kicked their butts, and the Seahawks need this win to clinch a playoff berth. And also the 49ers are right there with a much easier game this week hosting. Maybe they're not hosting. Maybe they're going to Indianapolis. Regardless, Philip Rivers is starting for the Colts. 49ers should win that game on Monday Night Football. So this is a big game for Seattle. A tad bit bigger than it is for LA, but still humongous implications. Winner of this game is going to win this division. Winner of this game is in the driver's seat for the number 1 seed, a.k.a. the only bye in the NFC. Don't think that doesn't matter. It matters so much for these teams to get guaranteed home field advantage, especially for somebody like the Rams, who play indoors, rather not play outdoors. And for Seattle, I don't know how much home field matters. I mean, Seattle used to be the best home field advantage, not in football, but in sports. But based upon their 6-1 away record, they don't have any problems on the road. Now, let's get to tonight's game. You mentioned the weather report, which I think is so important, and it's funny why I think it's important. I actually think it's going to be beneficial that this game is not going to rely on Sam Darnold and is going to have to incorporate the running back duo that the Seahawks have, which honestly is a good duo when these guys are freaking healthy, which I know is rare for Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet to be both healthy, but thus we have that tonight. I see this game as a running game. Somebody's got to set the tone. Line of trenches are going to be important. Rams are going to do what they do. They're going to try to establish Kyren. More or less, the game will rely on Stafford. I see Puka, who is having kind of a rough public week in the media, having a big game. He has to. His over-under for receptions is 7.5. That's freaking ridiculous. But I don't know if this week was the right week for Puka to go on podcast and talk crap about the refs when you have a Thursday night football game.
There's a lot of other
television.
Stuff well.
The stuff about his brother, I don't think that matters too much.
No, there's stuff
crazy.
That he said though.
Yes,
that one of the congressmen called him out for today. Full congressman.
He didn't make a lot of. It wasn't a good PR move.
He came out like a entitled, spoiled little bitch You don't hear me ever say any kind of language or speak like that on this show. Puka Nacua came off like an entitled little bitch.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, just not the attention you want in leading up to
he got caught. You saw what he did. He tried to get two streamers. I don't follow these stupid people.
I don't know.
Aiden Ross, whoever the fuck that is. He tried to get them into the Rams facility. Sean McVay and the other team members found out, and they had to kick them out of like the entrance tunnel because he was walking in these streamers into the Rams facility.
Listen. I think it's a bad look to do this on a short week before your most important game of the year. That's what I think. And whatever, nothing to do with on the field. On the field, guys, I'm going with the Seahawks on the money line at home. Rams are the better team, and I will take the Rams over the Seahawks in the playoffs any day of the week. But today, December 18th, on a cold and rainy night in Seattle, where Devontae Adams will, in my opinion, not suit up.
He's not going to play.
I am rolling with the Seahawks because I think with their running game, they can establish it, force the Rams to fill the box, thus giving JSN the opportunities that he needs to, as you like to say, Alpha, walk backwards into
the zone. That's what he does. That's what he does. Both these teams, like I said, are on a short week, but the Rams had to go to Seattle. Seattle was already home. They hosted Indy. This game means everything to the Seahawks. They are home, and I think they get the big win as well. I think they're going to absolutely win this game, and I'm going to be taking them on the money line. I'm not going to be focusing on the -1.5. Not exactly what I want to target in this game, but the money line into -124 is exactly what I'm going to be playing here. Let's see a monster performance from this Rams team. All right, Jefe. I know what time you have a hard out today, but the people don't know, so I can ask you. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's get into the prop world. It's the fantasy football semifinals. I believe you're in it in our league, if I'm not mistaken.
I know you're on the other side, baby.
I am. I know I'm not playing you, so we both made it here. What players do you project to have big games tonight in terms of touchdowns, maybe even fantasy points? What are you looking at in the props world?
All right. I mean, in the props world, here's what I'm truly looking at. I mean, is Puka going to go crazy tonight? No. Is he going to do what he normally does? Yeah, because Matt Stafford is going to have to force it. My only worry is they got ball hawks in that secondary in Seattle. They got real deal players. Mamori Jones, I think, has 5 interceptions for them. Weatherspoon, I mean, they got really good secondary
dudes and
players.
dogs.
Isn't Alpha? Isn't it crazy when a regime drafts well?
I wouldn't.
All those guys I just mentioned, all 3 of those guys drafted.
I would
even Worry and Weatherspoon drafted in the last 3 years.
Yep, I would not know. My team fucks up every draft.
Zero misses on. Zero misses on the secondary. I almost forgot their number 1 hit, JSN. Whatever. Can't get into it.
They drafted both running backs too, right? Kenny Walker went a little bit later out of Michigan State. I know that. I believe they got Charbonnet out of UCLA as well via the draft. Their studs on this team, they got through the draft. So very good for them. Charles Cross, who's out tonight.
Charles Cross, he is out.
But they did get him through. But they did get him in the draft as well.
So you asked me about fantasy, and you asked me about which players I like. So I got two plays, one from each side, in terms of plays that I like. Let's start with the Rams. Kyren Williams over 13.5 rushes at -110 odds. I'm a little bit shocked at this number, being that his season average is 15. I see this as a running game. No Devontae. I think the Rams have to rely a little bit on at least trying to set it up. I understand that Corum is getting more and more rushes, but this looks like Kyren should be able to hit 14 carries, rush attempts in this game. It's a -110 odds.
I like that.
That's my favorite play on the Rams side. My favorite play on the Seahawks side, it's chalky, guys, but I mean, it's JSN to get a touchdown because I believe the game plan is right there for Mike McDonald. Force the Rams to load the box, get one-on-ones in the Rams secondary for JSN, and let Darnold just throw it in the vicinity. That's it.
I'm with that 1,000%. Any other players you like in the touchdown world? I'll give it a couple guys that I'm looking at. A.J. Barner. I like his odds here at the +240. Rashid Shaheed, yeah, I like that better. +400. I think that's just way too wide. And remember, we have a little bit of a old friend playing an old team in this one, Jefe. Please stop cooping in my cup. Playing against his former team, you think he might make an impact? Do you think it's worth taking him anytime touchdown at +390? Has he scored a touchdown all year?
I think he had one last week or something.
Let's look here. Let's pull up Cooper Kupp. Not someone I would take in any capacity tonight. I'm just more curious how he's been this year. So let me pull that up here. But
I believe. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy how it tells you when a legacy player leaves a team.
Two touchdowns.
When a legacy player leaves a team and goes to another team, there's always a reason why, right? Especially when it's not like on the player to do so. Like, Devontae left the team, but you could tell like people were lining up to sign Devontae.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cooper Kupp leaves the Rams. You're like, whoa, really? After all that he did? And it's like, why? He didn't look he had that bad of a year this year. Now you see, he's taken a major step back from the Cooper Kupp that we know. Still a serviceable wide receiver 2-3, probably for another few years, but definitely trending towards the 3 rather than the 2. So with that being said, I don't really expect too much out of him. Shaheed is interesting. I expected him to really do more than he is in the Seattle defense. The speedster that he is, Sorry. I'm a little shocked that they're not finding better usage for him, both as a gadget guy, kind of Deebo Samuel role out of the backfield, and just as a go route guy, opposite side JSN. I mean, somebody's got to get JSN away from these doubles and triple teams. So I'm a little shocked. I need to see Shaheed do better, but I don't know if tonight's that night based on the weather. This game's gonna come down to one thing.
You know where Shaheed makes a big impact as well? Return game. He has had a return touchdown for them, a punt return. He is dangerous in that regard. So he is a multi-tool guy here. So you take his anytime touchdown, you have a couple different ways he can get that cashed for you. Totally. Oh my God. Kith just released a Henrik Lundqvist collab. Jesus, I'm gonna have to go look at that at the show. Just gotta
look the Rangers collab, yeah. So Darnold just can't mess this game up. That's what the game's gonna come down on. Sam's got to play his game and play in his not force balls, play in his progressions, and just do what it takes to keep himself in this game, his team in this game. His defense should do what they have to do on their side. Low scoring, kind of muck it up type of game in the trenches. I like the Seahawks to win this one.
How is USC just added a college basketball transfer midseason? Cam Woods, who averaged 15 points last year at Robert Morris, has signed today with USC. Can he play? They say you can have a midseason addition now? How does this work? This is so hard to keep track of. God. I digress. All right, F.A., ready to get a little best bets?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, give me 1 second to find it because I found the best bets basketball. I found the best bets baseball. And I have now found the best bets for football for today, Thursday, December 18th. Jefe, I'll let you kick it off. I need at least one college football play, and then we all know you're on the Seahawks for tonight. That's enough.
Yes. All right. We will give you... Seahawks money line for sure is my favorite play tonight, happening today. Over the weekend, my favorite play is going to be Miami on the money line. I think they go in there and they win this game, guys. I really do. I don't, even if I think the spread has gone over 3 in some places where you can get that hook at 3.5. I don't want the points. It's A&M's either winning this game, they're winning this game big time. Beck's going to just play like mid-season Beck, or Miami's going to control this game on both sides and win this game outright, baby.
I'm going to give out JMU plus 20.5, and I'm going to be taking the Seahawks in tonight's Thursday night football banger. I'm also giving out Rashid Shaheed plus 400. I'm going to put that as a best bet as well. And there's too much value to not take him at those odds. So many opportunities we're going to get the score. All right, end of the show. Shout out JD. Hope he's feeling better. Unexpectedly wasn't feeling great before the show. We hope he feels better. J-Bo, most importantly, if you're still watching, we hope you get better as well, brother. We're all thinking about you. F.A., any parting words for the people before we get the fuck out of here today?
Win bigger, faster, stronger.
All right, show's now really beginning. I don't know what this is, but JD put it in last year or something. I don't know.
He's saying we need to use that every day.
Every day.
Carl. Indiana, focus. Be strong. Win bigger. Don't do the other thing. Win tonight, Knicks. Need it. Big game today. Big game tomorrow. Let's start the post-cup life off strong.
There we go. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully JD will be back.
NFL Day.
NFL day. We'll be back same time, same place. Peace out, everybody. Oh, wait, we got to do the thing. You got to do the thing. What does JD always say? You got to do it. You got to still
let's
do it.
fucking win, baby.
Let's fucking win. And as Nick says in the comments, do more drugs. We'll see you guys tomorrow.